In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on November 6, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Cleveland Cavaliers versus New Orleans Pelicans. The Cleveland Cavaliers continue to hold one of the best records in the NBA as one of the only 2 undefeated teams left. They aim to extend their perfect streak as they travel to face the New Orleans Pelicans on Wednesday night. Cleveland, currently boasting an 8-0 record straight up and a 7-1 record against the spread, narrowly edged out the Milwaukee Bucks in their last game on Monday night with a 116-114 victory. On the other hand, the Pelicans, sitting at 3-5 straight up and 2-6 against the spread, struggled in their most recent matchup, losing 118-100 at home to the Portland Trail Blazers. The Cavaliers will likely face New Orleans with a limited roster, as Jalen Tyson and Caris LeVert are both listed as questionable for the game. The Pelicans, however, are dealing with even more significant absences. Key players DeJounte Murray, Trey Murphy, and C.J. McCollum are sidelined, and Zion Williamson's availability remains uncertain. In addition to Williamson, guard Jordan Hawkins, who has been averaging an impressive 17.6 points per game, missed Monday's contest due to a back issue and will be a game-time decision. Last season, the Cavaliers and Pelicans split their 2-game series, with each visiting team securing both the straight-up and against-the-spread wins. Facing the team with the best record in the league, New Orleans faces an uphill battle, especially if Williamson and Hawkins are unable to play. Cleveland's impressive 8-0 record reflects a balanced team effort rather than the reliance on a single high-scoring player, as no Cavalier averages 30 points per game. This unique stat underscores the Cavaliers' depth, with contributions coming from multiple players on both ends of the floor. Their all-around efficiency has been key to their success. Cleveland's balance has been particularly effective in their recent betting performance, going 5-1 against the spread when favored and 3-1 against the spread in home games. In head-to-head matchups with the Pelicans, the Cavs are 3-1 against the spread in the last 4 games. Meanwhile, New Orleans has struggled to find consistency, posting a 2-6 against the spread record and dealing with significant injuries, which could make them vulnerable in this matchup. At this point in the season, it appears these 2 teams are on divergent paths, with Cleveland surging forward and New Orleans battling to stay competitive. The Cavaliers, riding high on momentum, remain unbeaten after their first 8 games, including back-to-back victories over the Bucks that have likely boosted their confidence. Although the Cavaliers might be missing some players, they are facing a Pelicans team that is severely hampered by injuries. Given New Orleans' depleted roster, it's doubtful they can generate enough offense to keep up with Cleveland. Given the Cavs' current form, betting against them seems risky. Thus, the Cleveland Cavaliers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In terms of total points, the teams split the over-under in their 2 meetings last season, with each matchup averaging a combined 219 points per game. In both games, the losing team scored 104 points or fewer. Neither team is especially fast-paced, as Cleveland ranks 12th in the league for possessions per game, while New Orleans sits at 24th, according to TeamRankings.com. The Pelicans, limited by absences on Monday, scored just 100 points, and they've scored fewer than 110 points in 5 of their 8 games this season. Cleveland's offense, meanwhile, has scored 116 points or fewer in 4 out of 8 games, averaging 115 points across their last 2 matchups. Although the Cavaliers lack a single dominant scorer, they have a well-rounded lineup of players who contribute offensively. Cleveland also has a few players dealing with injuries, which may reduce their bench production. Notably, the under has hit in 5 of the last 9 games between these 2 teams, suggesting a potentially lower scoring contest. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Chicago Bulls versus Dallas Mavericks. In an interconference matchup set to take place on the hardwood in Texas, two NBA teams striving to regain their footing meet in hopes of returning to the win column. The Chicago Bulls head south to challenge the Dallas Mavericks on Wednesday night. Chicago is coming off a 135-126 home loss to the Utah Jazz on Monday, a surprising outcome given the Bulls entered that game as 7.5-point favorites. Meanwhile, the Mavericks also faced disappointment at home, falling 134-127 to the Indiana Pacers on Monday despite being favored by 4.5 points. Historically, the Mavericks hold a slight edge over the Bulls in regular season matchups, leading the all-time series 44-42. Last season, Dallas swept the two-game series, including a commanding 127-92 victory on March 11, 2024. The Bulls head into this contest with several key players unavailable or questionable. Lonzo Ball remains sidelined, and Zach LaVine's status is uncertain, potentially leaving Chicago without two of its core contributors. The Mavericks also have injury concerns, with P.J. Washington still out and rookie Derek Lively listed as questionable. The Bulls have had an uneven start, and their recent loss to the struggling Jazz has raised questions about their consistency. In contrast, the Mavericks had been building some momentum before their recent close loss to the Pacers. Although Dallas is favored to win this game, they haven't been consistent as heavy favorites, especially after narrow outcomes against teams like the Pacers and Rockets. The Mavericks are also dealing with rotational absences, which could impact their effectiveness. Given the circumstances, the Chicago Bulls to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Heading into Tuesday, Chicago had seen the over-hit in 5 of their first 7 games this season. The Bulls rank 18th in the league for turnovers, averaging 15.1 per game. But they push the pace, leading the league with an average of 105.2 possessions per game. On the other hand, Dallas has trended under the total in 4 of their first 7 games this season. The Mavericks take better care of the ball, leading the league with only 11.6 turnovers per game. But they play at a slower pace, ranking 18th with an average of 98.9 possessions per game. Although Dallas generally prefers a more controlled tempo, Chicago's fast-paced style is likely to drive up the game's pace, with both teams capable of scoring quickly when needed. Given these factors, we anticipate this game will exceed the projected point total, making over the projected total our full game total pick. Oklahoma City Thunder versus Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets will host the Oklahoma City Thunder on Wednesday night in a high-stakes Western Conference matchup at Ball Arena. The Thunder have had a phenomenal start to the season, showcasing their impressive momentum from last year's standout regular season performance. Currently undefeated with a 6-0 record, they've positioned themselves as the top team in the league. Meanwhile, the Nuggets have experienced a slower start to the season, lingering around a .500 win-loss ratio. Less than 2 weeks ago, Denver suffered a 15-point defeat to Oklahoma City, marking the Thunder's 4th consecutive victory against them, a streak that extends back into the previous season. Both teams are dealing with injury absences that could impact their performance. The Thunder remain without key players Isaiah Hartenstein and Kenrich Williams, while the Nuggets will again be missing Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray, 2 of their most important contributors. For Denver, the absence of Murray, in particular, may prove too challenging to overcome against Oklahoma City's stifling defense. The Thunder's deep roster allows them to consistently rely on a range of players stepping up each game, a strategy that has paid off so far this season. With their strong balance on both offense and defense, particularly in away games, the Thunder have every reason to believe they can continue their unbeaten streak. Notably, Oklahoma City has covered the spread in all but one of their games this season, reinforcing their status as a formidable opponent. Last season, the Denver Nuggets and Oklahoma City Thunder finished with matching 57-25 records, a testament to both teams' strength and consistency. Although neither squad reached the Western Conference Finals, both are determined to make a title run this year. Denver, however, will be without Aaron Gordon following an injury in their last game, and Jamal Murray is also ruled out, leaving the team at a distinct disadvantage against the Thunder's league-leading defense. Nuggets guard Russell Westbrook will face the difficult task of defending Oklahoma City's dynamic scorers, Jalen Williams and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a matchup that could stretch him thin. Historically, the Thunder have had the edge at Ball Arena, covering the spread in each of their last 8 appearances there. The Thunder have proven to be one of the NBA's most reliable teams against the spread, continuing their strong trend from last season with a current 6-1 against the spread record. On the other hand, the Nuggets have struggled to close out closeout games, hindered by a lack of depth on the bench, a problem compounded by the absence of Murray and Gordon. While Denver has managed to remain competitive largely thanks to Nikola Jokic's stellar play, the Thunder are riding a hot streak that seems poised to continue. With the Nuggets' short-handed lineup and Oklahoma City's consistent performance, it's challenging to envision a Denver victory even with home court advantage. So the Oklahoma City Thunder to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Oklahoma City comes into this matchup ranking 7th in pace of play, setting a quick tempo as they face one of the Western Conference's strongest teams on the road. With Denver missing key players, the Thunder have a range of options to throw at Jokic in place of Gordon and Murray. Recent encounters between these teams have been relatively low-scoring affairs, with neither team surpassing an average of 110 points over their last 10 meetings. Given Denver's current lineup challenges and Oklahoma City's defensive intensity, this game is likely to fall well short of the projected point total. Denver, ranked 17th in pace, will likely see Jokic aim to slow down the game, controlling possessions to minimize the Thunder's scoring opportunities. Defense is expected to be the driving force in this game, particularly with Oklahoma City's elite defensive unit leading the way. Currently ranking among the league's best in several defensive metrics, the Thunder show no signs of slowing down and look to maintain their undefeated streak. Denver's offense will face an uphill battle without Gordon and Murray, forcing them to rely heavily on their supporting players to keep pace. Oklahoma City's height and physical presence in the frontcourt will make things difficult for Jokic, and their disciplined offensive approach allows them to run down the shot clock effectively. Given recent trends, with the under hitting in 3 of Oklahoma City's last 4 games and 6 of their last 6 matchups against Denver, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.